And then we have an additional, the second one is for National K-Pac Day. And Ms. Du Bois, I will introduce her once we get to that one. But she's all the way from Texas, and she brought this to my attention today, and we'll tell you why once we get to this proclamation. And this talks about citizens respecting police and police respecting citizens. And that is all we're about here at Eastpointe. And so I want to recognize our officers and also our citizens and let the world know that here at Eastpointe, we respect each other, no matter what race, gender, or ethnicity. We always respect everyone. So going into our first proclamation was the National Gun Violence Awareness Day. I don't know who brought this to the agenda. Who was that?
Madam Mayor, that was me.
Would you like to read it?
I sure can.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
The City of Eastpointe Proclamation, National Gun Violence Awareness Day is June 4th, 2021. This proclamation declares the first Friday in June to be National Gun Violence Awareness Day in the City of Eastpointe to honor and remember all the victims and survivors of gun violence and to declare what we as a country must do to reduce gun violence. Whereas every day more than 100 Americans are killed by gun violence, alongside more than 230 who are shot and wounded, and on average there are more than 13,000 gun homicides every year. And whereas Americans are 25 times more likely to die by gun homicide than people in other high-income countries. And whereas Michigan has 1,212 gun deaths every year, with a rate of 12.1 deaths per 1,000 people. Michigan has the 31st highest rate of gun deaths in the U.S. And whereas protecting public safety in the communities they serve is among a legislator's highest responsibilities, and whereas support for the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens goes hand in hand with keeping guns away from people that shouldn't have them, and whereas gun violence prevention is more important than ever as the COVID-19 pandemic continues to exacerbate gun violence after more than a year of increased gun sales, increased calls to suicide and domestic violence hotlines, and increase in city gun violence. Whereas in January of 2013, Hadia Pendleton was tragically shot and killed at the age of 15, and on June 4th, 2021, to recognize the 21st birthday of Hadia Pendleton, born June 2nd, 1997, people across the United States will recognize National Gun Violence Awareness Day and wear orange in tribute to Hadia Pendleton and other victims of gun violence, and to the loved ones of the victims. And whereas the idea was inspired by a group of Haida's friends who asked their classmates to commemorate her life by wearing orange. They chose the color because hunters wear orange to announce themselves to other hunters when out in the woods, and orange is a color that symbolizes the value of human life. And whereas anyone can join this campaign by pledging to wear orange on June 4th, the first Friday in June in 2021, to help raise awareness about gun violence. And whereas by wearing orange on June 4th, 2021, Americans will raise awareness about gun violence and honor the lives of gun violence victims and survivors. And whereas we renew our commitment to reduce gun violence and pledge to do all we can to keep firearms out of the wrong hands and encourage responsible gun ownership to keep our children safe. Now, therefore, we, the City Council of the City of Eastpointe, do hereby proclaim the first Friday in June 4th, 2021, to be National Gun Violence Awareness Day. We encourage all citizens to support their community's efforts to prevent the tragic effects of gun violence and honor the value of human lives. Proclaimed this first day of June, 2021.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and read the city proclamation for Asian Pacific American Heritage Month.
Point of order.
I'm sorry.
I was just saying, point of order. I don't think we should be adding these two proclamations because, well, we only received them just a couple hours before the meeting. I haven't had a chance to review them.
You didn't?
I mean, they were sent a couple minutes to 4 p.m. and we had a 6 o'clock meeting.
Okay, so you guys want to do it the next meeting? I don't see what's wrong with Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. You want to read, you have to read over that for a whole another week to know what that's about, Councilman?
Well, I haven't been able to read any of the bullet points. I don't know if I am in support or not. Seems
Okay.
like I'm probably would be, but I don't want to proclaim something that I probably think, I haven't had a chance to look at it. At least that's my own opinion.
Madam
Let's see.
Mayor.
Councilwoman.
Yes, if we add them to the next agenda, then it'll also give all the residents a chance to, if they have an opinion on any of them. Not to say that I wouldn't support them either. To be honest, I haven't read them either yet.
Okay. Well, each one of them is again for Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. So we'll add that to our next agenda. Mr. Gatson, and also the National K-Pac Day, Ms. Du Bois. But I still want you to come on to the hearing of the public and introduce yourself. So once we do it, people will know who you are and what it's about. Okay, Ms. Du Bois?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, moving right along to roll call. Ms. Walton?
Mayor, Councilmember Curley. I think you're on mute, Mr. Curley.
I'm sorry. Here, Eastpointe.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Here, Eastpointe.
Councilmember Lucido,
Here, Eastpointe.
Councilmember Moore,
She's absent at this meeting as well. She's not feeling her best. Let's pray for her as well.
Mayor Owens,
Here, Eastpointe. Thank you. Approval of the agenda. Everyone, if you'd like to add or subtract anything.
Madam Mayor, I'll motion to approve the agenda as stated, but removing item B, local officers compensation commission determination.
Support.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last part. You wanted to take that off the agenda?
Yes, I don't believe that we really need to vote on it unless one of us chooses to add it. Like they make their recommendation and we can choose to add it. But if none of us made the recommendation to add it, I don't think it necessarily needs to be on the agenda tonight.
Oh, I see. All right. Thank you.
So unless a council member wants to keep it on, I would just recommend removing it.
We don't have to. Did I get support on that?
yes.
Support.
Okay, thank you. Motion and support, please call the roll.
Councilmember Lucido,
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Owens,
Yes. Now it's time for the hearing of the public. The hearing of the public is done at a regular meeting before and before we get into our conversation and a little bit after. So you get 3 minutes in the beginning and you get 3 minutes at the end to discuss your issues, your ideas, and your concerns, or also introduce yourself to the community. We ask you to be respectful because we have people of all ages, all ethnicities, and races that are listening. And so we ask you to respect others in their time while they're talking. So at this time, we open up the hearing of the public. Ms. Walton?
yes, Mayor. Ms. Veronica Heinfeld would like to speak.
Give me 1 second. Let me make sure I time everyone. Get my timer out. Good evening.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I would like to thank the city for having the water set up for when we planted this last weekend. It's usually late coming, and when you plant annuals and you don't get water on them immediately, you can lose half of them. And I've had that problem in the past, and you guys were really on top of it this year. And I wanted to say thank you for that. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the garbage pickup. I know that Councilman DeMonico mentioned that they're picking up everything in the same, they're putting everything in the trash. What we noticed last week and then again tonight was the truck goes around and picks up one of the containers and then comes back around again to pick up the other container. Same driver, same vehicle. So there's only a couple of reasons why that would occur. The first is for appearances. I could understand if this is a temporary thing that the city doesn't want residents to get used to using the same container for everything. And the second one would be possibly how they build the city. Maybe they, in the contract, there's supposed to be 2 vehicles come around. So they're driving the same vehicle around twice. It seems to be an unbelievable expense to me to take the time to drive down every street twice when the containers are sitting right next to each other. The last thing I want to say about that is it cultivates distrust when we're rinsing out our bottles and cleaning everything up and putting it in the recycle bin. And we don't just see the same truck come by, we see the same driver, and we're not hearing anything and we really don't know what's going on. But no matter what, if we're just going to have just trash, that's fine. I don't think that we should pay for the drivers to come down the street twice in that situation. I'm probably not going to be able to stay on the meeting for the whole meeting. So if I can't, I will definitely watch on YouTube. I'll stay on as long as I can. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you. And Ms. Kleinfeld is our county commissioner, if no one knew that. Thank you for attending. Next person.
Mayor Eddie and Marcy would like to speak next.
Okay, how are you tonight? Good evening.
Good evening. So from the last council meeting, I expressed my concerns. Mayor Owens, you had me email the city manager, and unfortunately, I've received nothing but vague answers and ignored emails. This nuisance tenant has been, just ongoing since March of this year. And I can tell you guys this much: if this was your neighbor, this would have been quashed after the first incident with tickets and court dates and so on. And the police have failed to do their job in issuing tickets. All I constantly hear is, we'll talk to her. That's done nothing, okay? The last time I called the police, which was recently, I asked the officer to write the report and make me the complainant. He failed to do that. And another officer made an idiotic response of, have you ever thought about moving where there's more distance between the houses? I had to remind him that the nuisance tenant ordinance needed to be enforced instead. And all that's being done is nothing except endless excuses and zero accountability. The building department claims the police need to handle the matter, and the police claim it's the building department's responsibility. It's not my job, has not abated their nuisance, but instead fosters, exacerbates, and emboldens the nuisance behavior of these deplorable tenants. And as a homeowner and taxpayer, I'm tired of these nuisance tenants constantly overflowing their garbage cans that results in their trash strewn about my backyard. I'm tired of the obnoxious nuisance and blasting their car stereos in the driveway. I don't care if it's a minute or longer, there's no excuse for it. And this is what happens because the cops failed miserably to hold them accountable. So now they're under the impression they can do whatever they want and no one's going to hold them accountable. I want to know what has been done to contact the resident agent listed under Laura that is located in Okemos, when that's well beyond the 50-mile rule. The building department's known about for months about a massive tree branch behind the garage for the rental house. They've done nothing. Let's see, since 2016, the water bill has shown as only 1 unit of water with a water bill for less than $40 a month when you've got 3 adults and a
30
12
seconds.
living there. This is ridiculous. I really hope you're going to take this seriously and immediately resolve this, because I really don't want to have to turn to the media or file a writ of mandamus, but stop ignoring this. This needs to be taken seriously. The ordinance needs to be enforced against them. Thank you.
Thank you. We are taking notes. I believe we just got your email not too long ago, so we have to review it.
I sent that maybe an hour ago to everyone.
Understood. And we
Thank
just had
you.
a meeting an hour ago, so it was hard for us to get to it at that time, but we'll review it as well as our city manager. Thank
And
you.
I would like a response instead of vague answers and being ignored. That's not how you run a city. You know, you've got to listen to your homeowners and your taxpayers because we're
Exactly.
the
Your
ones.
3 minutes. If you want to continue to speak, you have an additional 3 minutes. We have to make sure this is in order and keep
Okay.
moving forward. That's how we run this council meeting.
Sure.
Okay. All right. 3 minutes till the end. Okay. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Okay.
Yes. Can we move forward, please, Ms. Walton, for our next one?
Mayor, I don't see any other hands raised, and there's nothing else in the chat.
Okay, before we close the hearing of the public, I'm going to introduce Ms. Dubois. She is all the way from Texas. I don't want, since we didn't do her proclamation today, I don't want to leave her not being able to introduce herself and why she brought this proclamation to the city of Eastpointe. She is the founder of Knee Off My Neck movement, and she's an urban educator, and she's part of the disabled veterans, and she created days and is an advocate for that. She worked with mayors and governors and councils and police departments to increase and improve police community dialogue, identify, address, and equitably resolve community concerns. She is also the niece of the first Black photojournalist for the Los Angeles Sun, who worked with the Supremes, Colin Powell, Rosa Parks, and more. She is recognized by governors, mayors, celebrities from Georgia, LA, Texas, to Alabama, to Mississippi, California, Florida, and now Michigan. So you are free to Google her, Ms. Gresham Dubois. And hi, how are you? Please, you're on mute, but please let Eastpointe know why did you bring this proclamation up, and then we'll bring it back up at a council meeting.
Okay,
Hopefully you have
wonderful.
time. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, that was some introduction. Thank you. I really don't think I need to say much after that. How's everyone doing this evening? Hopefully everyone's wonderful. My name is Gresham Dubois, and I am a global advocate, equality advocate, and it's what I do. I'm for equality wherever I go and in all aspects. And as your wonderful mayor did say, I've worked with police departments, councils, mayors, governors, and have been recognized by these persons for positive efforts of bringing the community, police, just everyone together and towards a positive progression. The proclamation is for National K-Pac Day. And it's just a positive collaborative between police, community, just wanting everyone to come together, respect one another mutually. And in my experience, in travels and initiatives that I've started and been the impetus for, that has been the way that we can all just move forward and toward positive progression. The date is June the 7th. And the number 67 is very significant because it does mean, the number 67 means positive progression and advancement. So the K-Pac Day, it really embodies all of that. And it's not just for Eastpointe, it's for everyone from the north, south, east, and west. And we really just want to bring everyone together in a positive way. Thank you all for having me at your council meeting. And I'd like to know when the next one is. So hopefully we can go ahead and get this done. And I do understand the council persons who stated they hadn't had the time to review it. I do understand that as a person in leadership. So hopefully you'll get a chance to review it, and everything should hopefully be in order with it. The mayor and I did have a wonderful conversation earlier. I really, really enjoyed conversing with the mayor. It was really indicative of someone who is willing to work with anyone. And I really appreciated that about your mayor here. So thank you guys again for having me.
Thank you. And thank you for reaching out to us and all other cities, not just Eastpointe, but reaching out to us. And, you see our city moving forward positively, and and how our police department does an amazing job, and our citizens does, how we react to our police, and making sure that we continue that. So thank you again, and we'll see you next council meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Next
And
is
Miss
Yes,
Yawanda. Miss Yawanda Buckles mentioned that she would like to speak before you close the hearing of the public.
Oh, sure. We still had it open. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine, ma'am.
Good, good. It was nice meeting you at our local grocery store. That was very nice. I realized Eastpointe is not as large as the city that I come from, and we don't get to meet the mayor too often. So I'm from the Grosse Pointe area. So since being an empty nester, moved over to this part where I don't have to pay as much. However, yeah, what is the plans for the streets here? Collinson, Springer, Boulder, Shakespeare, horrible. Potholes, can we please, is there a plan? Is there a budget? And I don't see any construction at this time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, but we do a lot of answering after, but we have we do a pacer scale for each street, and we have that. I don't know if we have that online or available, but whatever streets you're talking about, if you email us those streets, we can let you know when those will be constructed or worked on, and et cetera, because we have a plan for every street, and sometimes some streets are worse than others, and we have to get to those first. And some are reconstructed and some are, done differently. So if you email us those sections, we can see where we're at with that, if you don't mind. And it was nice meeting you at the grocery store. I always try to be seen in the, in the community, not when it's election time, but when, all the time, so people can know who their mayor is and that I'm here for them. So, continuously seeing me at different places, be on the lookout for that. So is the hearing of the public now closed? We have anyone else?
Nope, there's nothing else in the chat, Mayor, and there are no hands raised.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you for everyone who participated in the hearing of the public. You get an additional 3 minutes closer to the end. The first hearing of the public is now closed. We're going to approval of minutes.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I would move that we approve the special meeting minutes of the budget workshop held on May 11th, 2021.
Support.
Motion and support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido,
Yes.
Mayor Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Next.
And Madam
ahead,
Mayor,
sir.
I would move that we would approve the regular meeting for May 18th, 2021.
Support.
Motion and support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Mayor Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido,
Yes.
Thank you. There are no scheduled hearings. We're going to move right along to unfinished business with the approval of special event application Juneteenth Film Festival Day Event, June 19, 2021. Is Ms. Bonner on here? I know she's the young lady who is hosting and is the one who actually is putting this together. Is Ms. Bonner on here? I think she came to the 6 o'clock. I think she got confused.
she was on the 6 o'clock, Mayor. I do not see her in the participant listing at this time.
Until she gets back on. Council, did you have any discussion on this?
Sure, Mayor.
Okay.
Yes,
sir.
I think just two things for me. I mean, I think the event for sure, it's a great idea. I think we just would want to make sure we have any liability insurance and any fees paid up front, like the department heads had mentioned in their notes.
I think she changed it from the city hall to another park, the park that I usually have my events at that we never use, that Capsule, behind Capsule School.
Oh, Fairlane Park?
Fairlane Park, yeah. So that, because it seemed like it would have been an issue when I was reading the notes from City Hall.
Madam Mayor,
Yes,
is there
ma'am.
an event application for Fairlane Park?
No, she has to put one in because I looked at the notes. I don't think she read over that. It seemed like it was gonna be somewhat denied if she had it at City Hall, and it sounds like she really wants to have it. So I told her to just.
Sorry, my second question too is if we did it at Fairlane Park, I think we would need approval from South Lake School Board to use the parking lot for parking and for food trucks, if that was the plan, if you guys were planning on using food trucks.
Right. I think she talked to the superintendent, and which I did too. He always doesn't mind us using the parking lot, but if we want to use the bathrooms, we have to pay. I think last time I had the back to school event there, he didn't mind us using the parking lot because no one is there and it's for a school and it's for the community. But if we had to use the bathrooms, it was a $250 charge for maintenance to open the door. So I think that's the only cost to us, or that's the only inconvenience we'll have. So I made her aware of that as well.
So my second question is too, I do like the idea of the event, but I was wondering if this is going to be a self-funded event, or if we're looking for the city to pay for this event. And if the city, it is the city that is to pay for it, a breakdown of what all the costs are
Okay.
that they are looking for the city to pay for.
Okay. Because I know to use the park is $75 for the park. So if it's city sponsored, that'd be one cost, and possibly the $250 to get to the bathroom, the superintendent. So those are two things. And I think she needed a speaker, microphone. I think those are things that we already have with recreation. But since we already are, having the Gratiot cruise on that same day, I don't know what things that the recreation is using for that event already. So,
Miss Banner just logged on.
okay, thank you. Good evening, Miss Bonner.
Good evening. I'm sorry. I had a slight emergency. That's why I had to get off the call.
Okay, that's fine. We're just getting into it. And I let them know you were thinking about changing the location to Fairlane Park, correct?
Yes. Fairlane Park is behind the Coastal Education Center. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. Yes, and the event will be from 5 to 9. We are looking to have speakers, food trucks, as well as performances, and do a movie showing around 7:30. So currently I am asking, I'm currently reaching out to Coastal now in order to use their restroom facility. So I did want to ask the city of Eastpointe to provide the funds for that if we do have to pay them to use the restroom. Also, I did speak with Darren at DPW. He said he is able to provide things such as trash cans and other sanitary items for the event. And I'm also reaching out to a pastor to ask his church to provide the stage rental.
I'm sorry, Madam Mayor.
Hey,
Ms. Bonner, so you're just looking for the city to pick up the cost for the bathroom rental?
Yes.
And I don't believe we need to pay the $75 to use the park. You just have to pay for the event application. Because I don't think that there's a pavilion there to rent, so I don't think you need to pay Rare to rent that park. So that's all you need is just the $250. That's the only thing you're looking for us to cover. So you'll be supplying the liability insurance and paying for everything else.
Okay, well, that changes things. Actually, no. Am I able to receive that? Do I need to fill out certain forms for that?
That's I don't know the answer to, because we've always had an organization cover the liability insurance for the event, so I'm not sure how that works. Maybe Mr. Blum might know.
I guess that's why she's asking us to sponsor it, so we can cover that cost and that liability. And I think it is $75. I paid $75 to use that park. I have receipts. So just letting you know, even though it's not used and it doesn't have a pavilion, I think I used it and I paid. Mr. Albright, I think Ms. Lucido was asking a question about the liability insurance.
On that question, Madam Mayor, I would have to defer to Mr. Blum, the city's finance director. I believe that he's on the call.
Okay, Mr. Blum.
Yes, Madam Mayor and Council. It depends on whether you're going to call this a city event or whether it's the private organization doing it. If it's a private organization, they would have to provide the liability insurance with a rider naming the city of Eastpointe as additionally insured. If the city wants to make it a city event, then nothing extra would be needed.
I think she's asking to make it a city event like we do most events. This is the new event for us, Ms. Bonner.
Yes, I'm looking for this to be this event to be in collaboration with the city of Eastpointe.
So, okay, my other question is, so even if the city, let's say it was a city event and the city covered the liability insurance, who would be covering the cost for DPW and for police? And I'm assuming that you're supplying the rights to the, the paying the cost for the rights to the movie that you're going to be playing, the screen, anything else that needs to be set up there. I'm assuming that you're covering that.
I can cover the screen for the film. With talking from my conversations with Rare, I was told if I do use Fairlane Park, I don't need to have police. So I'm not sure as far as that goes.
Okay.
I don't think police is needed. It's a family function. I don't think family functions always need the police.
No, Madam Mayor, I
so.
agree. I don't think you would probably need a police presence there either.
Yeah.
It's not like you're like closing a street like the Gratiot Cruise pays for the police because they close Gratiot, so they need some police assistance. But yeah, if we had like a breakdown of what exactly the cost is going to be for the city, so we have an idea and an event application for Fairlane Park. And I'll double check on that. I don't think you need to pay the $75 to use the park. I could be wrong.
I am currently waiting from a call back from the superintendent of South Lake Schools, who's over Coastal. So as soon as I get actual price on that, I can send that over.
Sounds good. But the best part about this event, to me, not only being first in the city of Eastpointe, I don't know if it's the first in Macomb County, but being in Eastpointe, I was actually talking to the mayor of Harper Woods, and they're doing Juneteenth at Wayne County Community College School. They didn't do it outside, it was last minute. And so we're doing a collaboration. So you got two mayors from two different cities doing a night and day event. So we're doing that crossing borders. So you got two mayors, two different cities in two different counties crossing the board to make this happen for Juneteenth. And so from 1 to 4, we will be at Wayne County Community College. And then from 5 to 9, we will be in Eastpointe for a movie night. And so we're going to do a whole day in dedication of, freedom, slavery, togetherness, equality, and things like that. So I'm actually excited for this collaboration. I don't think it's ever been done. And so, and I thank Ms. Bonner for bringing this together, and the city of Eastpointe for working together with her to make this happen. And I'm excited. So hopefully we can get this done. Anything else, council? Anything else, Ms. Bonner?
No, that's all for today. Thank you all for your time and for allowing me to speak.
Okay, Ms. Bonner, what we're asking is just update this application for the new location, okay, and those fees that you are asking the city of Eastpointe to inquire and to pay for, things like that. So if you can have this in by sometime by, what's today, Tuesday, probably Thursday, maybe. We probably can have it by tomorrow if you can.
Okay.
Possible. The sooner the better.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Moving forward to item B, discussion and possible approval of vacant boards and commissions.
I think that was tabled or taken off the agenda.
No, I think that was last week, Councilman. We bring it back.
Yes, Madam Mayor. It was tabled last week, but we have the names that were provided with in the packet this week. So I believe we could probably move forward with it this week.
Yeah, sounds good. So these are some of the vacant board and commission member positions that we're filling today. So we can move our city right along with business as usual. And a lot of things have not been getting done because our positions are expired or filled, or people left the city or moved or didn't want to do the job anymore for various reasons. So we want to try to fill those positions for people that are excited to be part of Eastpointe and do the work. And let's go and see where we're going to start with. So Ms. Walton, now which ones that has to be appointed by mayor, so we can get that done first, and then we can go to council.
1 second, Mayor, and I will pull the list.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
I believe all the ones that are council appointments are filled right now, so we don't need to do any of the council appointment ones.
Okay, sounds good.
And I believe that all the ones that are city and manager appointments are also filled at this time, so.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, I think one note, I think on that, I think the assessment board of review is council appointment. And that, while it might be full right now, I think there's a regular and alternate terms. There's one regular and one alternate term that's expired.
Okay.
Okay, so we could add those two on the next agenda then.
Well, those are in
They're
this
already in
list.
here.
I thought we were going through the mayor's list. Is that-
Yeah, this
Well, see, I think she was only gonna go through the ones that she's appointing. I'm saying if you and I, if, you know, like one of us wanted to make a recommendation. I mean, I'm fine with going with her recommendations too, so I mean, it doesn't matter.
Mayor, so beautification was the first one. We have a few vacancies on that board,
okay.
5 vacancies. Arts and cultural, we have 1 vacancy and some expiring terms as well.
Okay.
Parks Commission, there's a vacancy and some expiring terms. And then ZBA, let me verify with ZBA. CBA, we have a vacancy and then some expiring terms last month as well.
Okay, so I got arts, zoning, beautification, parks, and that's it.
And then the Elected Officers Compensation Commission as well. And let me verify there's a vacancy still there. I believe there is. Oh, nope, there's no vacancy on that one. Just some reappointments that need to be made.
Okay.
Madam Mayor, if I could ask a question?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Ms. Walton, on the, going back to the ZBA, are the alternate positions filled or are those currently vacant?
So it looks like the alternate positions are filled. Fullard Williams and Kimberly Naylor are still on the board. Both of them are up for reappointment though. So the terms expired, 1 last year and 1 this past May.
Thank you.
You're
Well,
welcome.
point of order, Ms. Naylor's on the planning commission and I believe I thought she's got to resign from the zoning board of appeals then. So that position.
I thought she was already, yeah, she's on the planning commission. She's on the zoning as well.
No, she was an alternate on the ZBA when we appointed her to planning commission. And the idea was that instead of being an alternate on ZBA, she was going to be on planning commission.
Okay.
I can follow up with Ms. Nash tomorrow and verify that there's been a resignation of Ms. Naylor.
Thank you.
Okay.
So then there would be an alternate vacancy on the ZBA.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Walton. I just bring that up because I know that the last 2 scheduled zoning board of appeals meetings, we did not have quorum, and so the meeting could not proceed.
Okay.
Point of information, I think there's 1 vacancy though. Who are the 7 members?
So there is a regular appointment vacancy, but not an alternate. But now there is the alternate with Kimberly. So we have the 1
Okay.
vacancy, and then he was asking specifically for the alternates.
Okay. Sorry.
So Madam Mayor,
Yes.
if you would just like to start with your first, like whatever one you want to start with first, and then we can make the motions one at a time.
Sounds good. Moving right along. We're gonna start with the Arts and Cultural Commission with Langston Moore.
Sure.
Madam Mayor,
Oh, go ahead.
Madam Mayor, I'll motion to approve the appointment of Langston Moore to the Arts and Cultural Diversity Commission.
Sounds good. welcome to the family, Mr. Moore. He's on here. He's been part of the community. He always comes to the council meetings when he can. He does a lot for the youth.
Madam Mayor,
So I hope to see you do a lot of hard work with the Arts and Cultural Commission. Yes, sir, Councilman
thank you.
Curley.
I'm assuming that he'll be appointed to the vacant position on the arts and culture. That expires July 1st, 22. That would be the one that'll be going on
Yes, to fill
Okay.
the vacant position.
on the vacant position. All right, thank you.
There was support there, correct?
No.
I'll support it with that expiration included July 1st, 2022.
Okay. Motion and support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lucido,
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Mayor Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yeah.
Next one is zoning. You said we had two openings, correct? Or we don't?
So yes, we have a vacancy, and then we would also have an alternate vacancy.
Okay, so I'll have Tonya Gladney and then Mary Hall Rayford as the alternate.
Madam
Mary
Mayor.
Hall is on the board, Mayor.
She's already on the board?
Yes, her term expires May 15 of 2022.
Okay. So I have Tonya Gladney right now, and you said Miss Naylor can't be on the planning and the zoning?
That's correct.
Let me come back and add one more person to that once I review the other ones. I have to make sure people actually want to do zoning. So I don't want to add someone to something they don't want to do it. So we're gonna move. I'm gonna come back to zoning and review the other applications.
I will move ahead with your recommendation to appoint Ms. Gladney to ZBA, but I do want to just express a little bit of concern I have. She's presently on beautification, and she only attends about half of the meetings. So I do have a little bit of concern with her attendance record, but I will move ahead with your recommendation to appoint her.
I thought she was off beautification for not attending, or she was too busy. I think she's doing some things in Eastpointe right now. I'm not sure.
I believe she's still on beautification. Mr. DeMonico is the liaison. He might be able to clarify that.
Is she still on there, Mr. DeMonico?
As far as I know, I haven't seen a resignation from her.
Have you seen her at the
No,
meeting?
not sure. She's been at a somewhat recent meeting. I don't think she was at the last one, but and I haven't seen a resignation email or letter or anything from her though.
Okay. So let's go with her for right now. And then let's see, if Mr. DeMonico, you haven't seen her, if she wants to stay, she can stay. It's several people that's on commission that's on more than one. So if she wants to resign from one or be on both, and that's doable for her, we can keep her on there, or we just come back to the table and bring someone else. Then I'm gonna bring this back because I want to see more applications on zoning, and again, pick people that actually want to do the job and will attend the meetings. So council, you have a motion on the floor.
Madam Mayor, I will make the motion to appoint Tonya Gladney to the Zoning Board of Appeals Board.
Support. Motion and support. Call the roll so we can move right along.
Councilmember Lucido,
Yes.
Mayor Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico,
No.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Next is beautification. I'll be appointing Annetta Griffin, Desire Lindsay, Terry Fairley, and Pamela Russell to the Beautification Commission. So we should be, I think did someone just drop out? Because you said 5, it was 4.
I could address, or unless you were going to, Ms. Walton.
Go for it, Terry.
Sure. So there's two vacant from, Miss Golden passed away a while ago, and then Martha Hauser resigned. So those are two completely vacant. And then there's two members that haven't been there in a long time, where their positions are Andy Boyer and Louis Kopanek. So those for sure are four open positions. The only other note was Desire Lindsay is already on the commission.
Has she been attending?
Yes.
Okay. I'll come back and add another person once I review the additional applications for beautification.
I believe too that the chair that was on the board has stepped down is just recently, I believe last Friday. I had received notification from Mr. Marucci.
Okay.
Well, I think there was confusion. He was just stepping down as chairperson, not from the commission though.
Okay, I will verify with Mr. Marucci and clarify that on here.
Okay. Yeah, I think a person from beautification thought he stepped down too. Out.
Yeah, the emails were confusing for sure.
Okay. So welcome Ms. Griffin and Ms. Fairley and Ms. Russell to the beautification. I've seen some there work in their own backyard and it's beautiful. So hopefully you can make Eastpointe look the same way. Council?
Yeah, sure, Mayor. I could make this one because I think I've got the expiration dates in front of me. If we could, I'll just go down the line. Let's see. Appoint Annetta Griffin to a term expiring December 31st, 2023. Ms. Terry Fairley with a term expiring December 31st, 2023 also. And then Ms. Pamela Russell with a term expiring December 31st, 2022.
Support.
Motion and support. Welcome to the family. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Owens.
Yes. Now the Parks Commission, I put Ms. Holder on here and she has been not feeling so well. So I'm gonna come back and add a person to this actually when I review the additional applications. Because I reached out and asked her, is it something she's willing to still do? And she said she hasn't been feeling her best. So I don't even wanna press her for doing something that she cannot do. So I'll come back to zoning and I'll come back to Parks Commission and we can add that to the next agenda. If you want to put that on there, Ms. Walton. And is that all for me to do?
And then the local or elected officers compensation commission had one vacancy, I believe.
Okay, we're gonna do.
Or no.
There's two.
There's
Yeah, I think it's two. Bethany Pierce and Ms. Ford. They were the two that asked to be on here during the application process.
Sure, I'll motion then that we appoint, is it Bethana Pierce? Sorry. With the term to expire April 7th, 2027, 7-year terms, and that'd be for the term that expired in 2020. And then Cassandra Ford to a term to expire April 7th, 2028.
And that, what position was that? What board? What
Local
board?
Elected officers.
Local
Oh.
Officers Compensation Commission.
All right, yeah.
Now, I have a question. This probably Councilman DeMonico is probably gonna be able to answer this. So those are not vacancies. Those were seats that were up for reappointment, correct?
Correct.
And who was sitting in those seats previous?
Right now, the term that expired April 7th, 2020 is Joyce Lalonde, and the April 7th, 2021 term is Walt Jakubiak.
Okay.
And have they been asked to run again or be appointed again? Just curious.
I believe they
Ask
both
the mayor.
applied.
I didn't see any applications. saying they want to be reelected or anything like that. So I moved forward, and the people that I think they've been, how long have they been on that board anyway? I think it was over 10 years, right?
Do not have record of Ms. Lalonde's appointment. Walter, I believe, was back to 2017, is what we found in the file.
Okay.
I know Ms. Lalonde did fill out an application to be reappointed. I'm not certain about Mr. Jakubiec.
Okay, I think I seen the Lalonde, but I don't think it was for the elected officers. I think that was for the Arts Commission.
There was a new one. She checked off arts and local officers compensation on the last one, dated May 19th, received by City Hall May 25th, it says.
Okay, I think the Lalonde family, they've been doing a lot for the city of Eastpointe. I think it's time for we to exercise other people in this community who want to be a part of our community, who live here and pay taxes as well. And we want to say thank you to all the people who've been serving on these commissions for over 10 years plus. But I hope that if you step down or you're not a part of the commission, you will be assisting the people who are new. But I think it's time for people to let us exercise other people's value and their gifts here in the city of Eastpointe. And I don't think we do that enough. So we have the elected officers. We have Bethania Pierce, appointed 4/7/2027. Cassandra Ford, what was that, April 7th, 2028?
Yes.
Okay. Support. Motion and support. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Mayor Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido,
No.
Councilmember Curley,
No,
Moving right along. What else is on here?
point of order, what the vote was 2-2,
Yes, sir.
so it did not pass.
It didn't pass, so it has to come back up.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else, Ms. Walton?
I believe that's all, Mayor. And then we'd be coming back for parks, zoning, and then if you'd like to bring someone back regarding the elected officers.
Yes, we can bring somebody back for the elected officers and zoning and what's that, Parks Commission?
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you now, Council, I am not going to approve anybody that you consistently put on these boards over and over again. I think it's not fair to people who live here. I don't think it's diverse, and I don't think it's right. And I'm gonna speak it loudly, and you know what I'm talking about.
Madam Mayor.
You cannot keep recycling the same people and not letting people feel like they have a place here in the city of Eastpointe. If this is a family town, we need to start acting like it.
Madam Mayor, just to reply to your comment, just so you know, part of the reason was that Cassandra Ford is already on a commission. And I know Ms. Lalonde is also on a commission already, but Mr. Jakubiec isn't. So I just thought it was fair to not put multiple people on boards, and when we have other people who are interested in joining them.
We have been always putting multiple people on board for years. I just don't want the same people on the same boards that's being over and over again, and we're not allowing other people to be used. Because if we did have the same people on the same board, the one lady, I don't think Ms. Pierce is on any board. You all could have said that the one lady is already on the board, let's use the one that's not. You voted the whole thing down and not gave the other person a chance.
I just voted with the motion that was made. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm not sorry.
Of course you're not. Moving right along.
Madam
Mayor,
Mayor,
administration. I'm
Madam
not doing
Mayor,
this tonight.
Madam Mayor,
Councilman.
Madam Mayor, point of order. I just want to respond to your comment. You certainly have a right saying that you think there should be recycling of a person on commissions and boards. And that may be true, but maybe if we believe that a person, once they get on a board and they're there 8 or 12 years, maybe we better take a look at the council position and the mayor's position and say that you've been on there 12 years. It's not fair to the community. Maybe we better have term limits and get people off after they've had 12 years or 8 years, whatever. So.
Yeah, that's true. How
That's
long did you
like-
serve as mayor? How
you know,
long
I'm
did you
just-
serve as mayor?
I'm just saying that's a thought too, if we're going to think all the way through the board.
No, I'm asking you, how long did you serve as mayor when you were mayor?
I don't remember. That's too long
Okay.
ago.
Okay, well, why you didn't do council term limits when you ran?
I don't remember.
Madam
Of
Mayor,
course you
I'm not
don't.
saying there should be term limits. I mean, I agree with Mr. Curley in a way. Like, I don't think there should be, these people have invested a lot of time in this city, and then just to not appreciate that and be like, well, we don't need you anymore because there's new people. When vacancies come up, I'm all about appointing new people to those vacancies. But a lot of these people have been really committed to the city, and I don't think just pushing them aside because they've served on a board for a while is the appropriate way to treat them after having so much dedication to Eastpointe.
No, I agree. I'm not saying push them to the side. I'm just saying after 10 years of service, let new people, this community is changing. The mindset is changing. The talent is changing. The gifts are changing. And after 10 years, we need to change. I'm not going to be mayor forever, 12 years. Now, if the city wants that, that's up to them. But even right now, I'm transitioning the person to take my seat because the next person will have different gifts and talents than I will. And so that is what transitioning, and that is what's giving people chances to do. Like the city of Eastpointe gave me a chance and they elected me because they wanted something different. So moving right along, unless Councilman Curley wants to say something else.
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind responding also,
Yes, sir.
Mayor, to what you were saying about us not, I guess the rest of us, as you know, put it, not putting forward diverse members for council or for boards and commissions. I completely disagree with that. I mean, in fact, the first person on your list, Miss Naylor, I had put forward for the Planning Commission before, and we approved to put her on the Planning Commission. And just also there's been plenty of new members added, and I don't think we've been, as a council, against that. So I just completely disagree with what you said regarding that just a few minutes ago.
That's fine, because I disagree with you. And as a council, we're going to disagree a lot. And that's fine. That's fine. So moving right along, I love democracy, but moving right along to reports from administration. Our city manager, Ms. Doon, good evening.
Good evening, Madam Mayor. My report is short this evening. Tomorrow starts our annual dog canvas of the community. So if you don't have a dog license at this time, now is the time to come forward. If you have any questions, call City Hall, ask for the clerk's department, and they will give you all the information you need. But we do have a crew going out, and we'll be doing that canvas because we do have a small community, but we also have a lot of dogs in our community, and it's important that everyone has their license, the dogs are, have their shots, and everyone's as safe as can be. And that's my report for this evening. Thank you.
Sounds good. Does anybody have any questions for our city manager at this time?
There are two quick items there.
Yes, sir.
One, Ms. Doom, could you clear up from our last meeting we had at the hearing of the public, our member of the DDA, Mr. Transit, had brought up the issue with a city contractor. I know we cleared that up, but I just want to clear it up in a council meeting since it was brought up originally in a council meeting.
Yes, here, thank you very much. I will, if you don't mind, I would like to defer to our Public Works Director at this time. I think he is far more knowledgeable than I am on licensing, when to be licensed and when not to be. So if Darren is with us this evening, Darren, if you could step in.
I am here.
There you are. I knew you were somewhere.
So I'm sorry, I wasn't, hello, Mayor, Council.
Hi.
So I reached out to AEW, our engineering firm, on this, and they said that this is quite common for a contractor not to be a licensed plumber to do outside work, only inside plumbing work. And I've got plenty of documentation on it from AEW. And I also went to a website and downloaded some stuff that I sent to Elke and Mr. Blum as well. So in closing, no licensed plumber to do outside sanitary work.
Right. Is necessary. It's not necessary.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. And then the other thing is, I think with GFL, with their county commissioner, Veronica Kleinfeld, especially speaking to earlier at this meeting, I think we need to do something further with GFL. Frankly, I think, I don't know how many people probably got to be quite upset. I mean, I am personally about recycling. Right now, I feel like the trust is not there. If I just had my recycle bin out today, I don't know, is it just ending up in a landfill instead of actually being recycled? I know, of course, again, like I said, there are global issues with recycling. And I know we've had a compost issue in the past, I think, and actually I think Commissioner Kleinfeld spoke about that maybe years ago or something, but they're basically saying it's not happening, and clearly it's happening again and again and again, and now they're even trying to round the block maybe and do it, it sounds like, and just pick up the same thing. I am not at all happy.
Okay. Well, I can speak on that. I talked to GFL Customer Relations. Every time I get a report of this, they say that it is literally a fireable offense to put the wrong material in the wrong truck. And if you're seeing that, they want to know about it. They want to have a truck number. They want to have a description, because they have their own plants. They have their trash plant, they have their recycle plant, and they have their compost plant. So it wouldn't be advisable for them to bring it to the wrong plant. They want to bring it to the correct place where it gets processed the correct way.
I think Councilwoman Lucido.
Yes, so Mr. Palucci, last Thursday, I had my trash picked up. I was speaking with Councilman DeMonico actually on the phone, and I said, hold on a minute, they're picking up my trash. I want to watch what they do here.
Yeah.
So I had 3 cans out. My green can was already picked up. It was picked up earlier throughout the day with the green truck. Legitimately, green truck picked it up. Later on that evening, the red truck shows up, which is the recycling truck. Out there, I had my red can, and I had 1 can with yard waste. I watched him take my yard waste, dump it in the red can, and then the truck picked up the red can and dumped it in the back of the truck. Now, I don't know how many recycling trucks they have go out on Thursday, but I'm sure they can track exactly what truck that was on Thursday. You have my address.
Mm-hmm.
To my address to know who was driving that route that day. The interesting part is they didn't pick up other people's yard waste at that time, but I watched them take my yard waste and dump it in my red can and then dump that red can in that red truck.
Sure. And I'm not here to defend GFL by any means. I want what's right is right. So I think at this point, I'm going to start really following these guys around and showing it to myself, because when I come to them, being the route supervisor or the customer relations, I just get excuses, and they're running out of excuses, really.
Yeah, and Mr. Paolucci, I didn't respond about the that last email because I'm not about to just throw one employee under the bus, essentially. I guarantee this is it's not just him. It sounds like it's clearly a company-wide issue, and I certainly don't want that specific person to be fired if he's following the company's orders, but then they're going to try and fire him saying he did the wrong thing. So that is personally why I didn't send that specific truck number over to you. And I think, I don't know, that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, and I'm thinking.
Mayor, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, and I'll go after you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And just, I don't think that it's our responsibility to follow them around. We're having multiple complaints. I don't understand why GFL, I mean, I'm sure there's some sort of management service, why they aren't following them around to see what is going on. Like, it should be their responsibility. They're getting the complaints to follow up. If someone was complaining about one of our employees, I would expect one of their supervisors to check up on it, not the residents or not, the grocery store owner that the complaint is coming from to follow them. It should be their boss.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So I was wondering why we don't use our own city garbage facility, because we own a trash facility that other cities use to dump trash, and we don't use it. So I'm wondering, would it be more if we went back to the old way and did it our own? Would that be, less costly for us? Director?
That would definitely be a question for Mr. Randy Blum. I've been here 16 years and we've never picked up trash in my time here.
Mr. Blum, I know we have our own trash facility that we charge other people for dumping trash. And so why we don't use our own facility to dump trash and not, you know, and use other people to do it for us somewhere else?
Trash was privatized long before I got here, and it was because it was a cost savings. It's expensive to hire the union laborers. It's expensive to maintain all the trucks, and that was before we had a pension issue. So, I mean, we'd have to do a cost analysis to see what it would cost to bring it in house, but it was privatized just for the cost savings. And like I said, that was long before I started. It's been at least 30 years that it's been private.
Yeah, I always wonder if we have our own trash facility, why aren't we using it for our own service and giving it to other people as a service? That's, even though we're making money off that, I think we should use what we already have in-house to save money. But I guess we'll go back there at another time. Any other questions for our city manager or our director of public safety while he's on here? I mean, I'm sorry, our director of DPW while he's on here. Next is our finance director, Randy Blum. Yes, Mr. Blum.
Yes, Madam Mayor and Council. Just one topic. I don't know if anybody noticed, but we did have the electrician install the charging stations last week. Unfortunately, the dual brackets were shipped as single brackets. So we have 2 charging stations working and not the 4 that we're ultimately going to get. We just have to get the bracket issue worked out and they'll come back and finalize it. But we've doubled our capacity. So we're making progress, and that's all I have.
Okay, any questions for our finance director, everyone? Okay, seeing none, I'm sorry, go ahead.
One quick question, Mayor.
Yes,
I was
sir.
wondering, Mr. Blum, what happened with the looked like in the payrolls and bills today, there were a lot of overpayment of winter taxes. I was wondering, like, how did that seemed unusual? I haven't seen that before. Were the wrong bills sent out or something?
No, I mean, it happens every year. What you're noticing is there was a backlog in getting them processed. So there was a whole bunch processed at the same time. Normally you'd see them scattered throughout the payroll and bills as they went through the cycle, but it happens every year. Summer taxes, winter taxes, a mortgage company pays it, the homeowner pays it. We have to refund the overpayment. Some of them are tax tribunals where there's an adjustment to the value and we have to give a refund, but the majority are simply overpayments or double payments.
Okay.
It really is not unusual.
Okay.
The unusualness is how many are on the same payroll and bills.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions for our finance director? Going forward to our city attorney, Mr. Albright.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of council. Good evening. In light of this evening's earlier show cause hearings, I do have a relatively short report. The council's in receipt of our monthly status report dated May 29th for the month of June. I'm happy to answer any questions. It is slightly longer than previous months, and that is because the building department has requested that our office file nuisance abatement actions in the circuit court rather than going through the dangerous building process. The reason for that is these are unique situations where the building department has had some contact with the property owners, and through the issuance of citations in the district court, there's absolutely been no compliance, and the property owners just refuse to bring the properties up to code. And so rather than going through the dangerous building process, which would take a great deal of time, especially in light of COVID, the building department has decided that it's easier and quicker to go the route of filing an action in circuit court. So that is the reason for the longer monthly status report.
Okay. Any questions for our attorney? Thank you, Mr. Albright.
Thank you.
And all administration. Going to new business. Item A, to schedule a public hearing on proposed fiscal year 2021 through 2022 budget. Ms. Doom, did you want to speak on this, or we can go right along and make a motion?
We can certainly go right along. The request is for June 15th, our next meeting, to schedule a hearing prior to the meeting.
Council?
Sure. Mayor, I'll motion we schedule a public hearing on the proposed fiscal year 2021-22 budget and tax rate to support the budget for Tuesday, June 15th, 2021 at 7 p.m. pursuant to Chapter 12, Section 7 of the Eastpointe City Charter, and direct the city clerk to publish all required notices for the public hearing.
Support.
Motion and support, please call the roll.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Owens.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna get through this really quick. Next item is discussion on a GMAR Placemaking Grant Award. And I have Ms. Holman on here. Is Ms. Holman here, our Director of Economic Development? Me and her worked on this together, which consists of, we were awarded a grant for 25, it was up to $5,000. I don't know which one she applied for. Was it the 2,500? But this money will be used to do some finishing touches on the children's garden. So I'm excited about that. And I know the finance director has to put that in the bank. I don't know how that's submitted, and you'll give that to our economic developer as well. Or does that go to our arts and cultural diversity, Mr. Blum?
The way I read it was a reimbursable grant. So we actually have to spend the money first and then submit the receipt for the invoices to the grantee, and then they will reimburse us once we do that.
Okay, that sounds good. And I don't know, Ms. Holman, are you on here?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell the residents what we'll be doing, what your idea was to do with this money?
Yes, so this was the Greater Metropolitan Association of Realtors, and it was a placemaking grant for outdoor and public spaces. We talked about the mural garden. This was the shifting the paradigm. It was $2,500 to $5,000 for a total transformation of a public space. We picked the children's garden because we have the gravel there right now, of course, and we would like to install walking paths to the 3 children figures so that, or pavers, so that the people can take pictures. ACDC has been fabulous. They have $500 allocated toward this project. The DDA is also going to allocate some extra money. We of course asked for the full amount of $5,000, but we're really thrilled to even get the $2,500. I will be sending out an email tomorrow morning to the ACDC contacts, the DDA, and the Beautification Commission members. Thankfully, we have 4 new ones. Just looking for volunteers that would be happy to create a design, help install, but also, looking for help with finding some perennials that are going to bloom all season long. ACDC and the DDA would like to have definitely some walking paths up to each of the 3 children that are etched on the wall. And then we want to sort of put perennials around that. And DPW will, of course, fix the sprinklers to accommodate all of that. It is exciting. If we can get it going really fast and up before the crews would of course be even better. Yeah, we're really excited. GMAR has not had any Macomb County projects. So we are really thrilled that they picked this. Thank you.
Me too. I'm excited about that.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
I just really quick wanted to say I'm really excited about this, and thank you and Mrs. Holman for applying for this grant. I know that the Arts and Cultural Diversity Commission, have been trying to plan on something to do over there, so this will definitely help make it even better. So I'm really excited. Thank you.
Welcome. I can't wait to see what we all gonna do as a community, what our thoughts and our visions are gonna be. And moving forward to our next grant, I'm excited about getting these grants. We got some other grants. I feel like we got a lot of money coming to Eastpointe. I don't know where it's going to come from, but I'm going to apply for everything I can. So the next one is Healthy Babies, Bright Futures Grant. And I told you guys last council meeting. I'm sorry, sir.
Sorry, before we moved on to the next item, I was going to motion to accept the GNAR placemaking grant award.
Okay,
I believe council needs to vote to accept a grant.
Right.
We have in the past.
Thank you.
So that'd be my motion.
Okay. Support. Motion and support. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Mayor Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Okay, next item is discussion on Healthy Babies Bright Futures Grant Award. Last meeting, I told you all the vision of me and Miss Nancy Anter from Pregnancy Aid put this together, and we wasn't sure we were going to win. I felt that we were. We did a lot of work, and we were approved and granted $10,000 to use that to help with the disparities of health in the community. Ms. Anser is on this call. I think she was. Ms. Nancy, did you want to speak about this award that we were given?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. I'm excited to be a part of it. We are new to Eastpointe as a business, a nonprofit business. So it's exciting to bring in the community and introduce ourselves to the community in a positive way that moves us all forward. We're already talking with vendors in Eastpointe that can volunteer their services, donate their services, and also give their services for a fee, which would give them visibility too in the community. So it's kind of a win-win, and I'm excited to be a part of it. Grateful for the grant.
Yes, me too. A lot of grants come to certain mayors of certain cities, and I got this grant. It was called the Mayor's Innovation Grant. And, you know, as a mayor, you had to work with or partnership with someone, and it just happened. Pregnancy Aid just had got here, and I said, it makes sense. And so me and her talked. We hadn't even met. I called her and said, hi, I know we were supposed to have lunch, but I need you to do this right now. It's an emergency. This is what I want. This is what I need. This is how I want this to look. And she said, okay. And so she did it, and we got it done. So thank you again, Ms. Anter, for helping me and doing the work that you've done, not only in Eastpointe, but what you've done for years in Detroit as well. And so I think I don't know if I have to, do I have to sign this and send it back to him, Mr. Blum? It looks like in order to accept it, I think someone has to sign off on it in the back and return it back to him. Did you get to look over,
Yeah.
Mr. Blum?
Normally the city clerk would sign off on any
Okay.
agreements.
Okay, council, any discussion on this? Councilwoman?
Madam Mayor, yes, I have a question about this, and I don't know if Mr. Blum or you'd be able to answer this. So is this grant awarded to the city of Eastpointe, or is, and so it says it's awarded to the city of Eastpointe. I guess my question is, the event that was planned for this grant in the organization that the city is proposing that we partner with, was that, who made that decision to go forward with doing this? I guess that's my question.
Well, they come to the mayor of every city and come with an idea of what do you want to see your city look like, or what's the idea of what you're trying to do. And so I think it made sense to help with the health and the disparity of a community and partner with someone that deals with, you know, babies and things like that. And so
go
ahead.
I mean, I agree with, you know, I'd love to see events happen in the city that help with health and wellness for sure. My concern is it's, you know, it's a pro-life organization. It's kind of a political organization. So I just don't know if I would feel comfortable supporting, whether it was one side or another, from my point of view, supporting an event with an organization that has a political stance one way or the other on that.
Madam Mayor, may I speak to that, please?
Please.
We're not political. Pregnancy is not political. It's a 501c3, and the majority of what we do is help women and babies in the community. We have education for women on breastfeeding and parenting, self-esteem, stress management. We give out formula, diapers. We're privately funded, and it makes sense to push for health. We're not at all political. Zero. We're not allowed to be because we collect private funds. We're donated privately. So I don't see a conflict, I guess.
Yes, sir. Councilman DeMonico.
Well, I think I was, I don't understand why the city needs to be involved at all, I guess, to Mayor Pro Tem Lucido's point. This event is going to be at a private nonprofit. Why doesn't this event just happen and the city of Eastpointe not be involved? Like the last grant, improve city property. This one, like I don't see a reason to be involved. And yes, I do understand, Miss Nancy, you're saying it's a nonprofit, but it certainly is. I mean, the Pregnancy Aid Detroit is a pro-life organization. I mean, it's I get it. They, Planned Parenthood has its own nonprofits also, but I don't think the city even needs to be involved. And I don't know why isn't the 10,000 just spent and you do this event? I don't think the city needs to be involved. Like if the Red Cross comes here, they just do their event at the fire station and it happens. The city doesn't need to accept like a grant fund or something like that. So that's I don't understand. And how did we? I think as far as I've been on council, we've voted to go out for grants also, and I didn't even know this was occurring.
We talked about this a couple council meetings, and the reason why it's given to the city of Eastpointe is because I work and I serve for the city of Eastpointe. So as a mayor, I just don't get grants for Monique Owens or for my own personal use. I get grants for a city. This is the city I serve, and so I'm part of. We're a whole body. And so when I go for grants, since we didn't want to pay for a grant person to do grants, and the city of Eastpointe sent me to school for grants, I'm using my education and getting these grants, in which you guys, put in me to do certain things. So I'm utilizing my knowledge and my skills, which the city of Eastpointe taxpayers paid for me to go to school, and I'm getting grants on behalf of the city. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Sure, but I'm saying I think if we are involved or not, there will be the same outcome. It's not like city property being enhanced for $10,000 or, city employees being, I think the same exact thing will happen regardless of if we accepted this grant funding or not. I just don't understand that part.
I get a little bit of what you're saying and a little bit I don't. It's probably because the city is actually getting something out of it, because we are using businesses and using this grant to pay businesses, local business. We're not using people outside of the city of Eastpointe. We're using an organization in Eastpointe. We're using businesses in Eastpointe. We're using nonprofits in the city, and the people who are utilizing these services are city residents. I don't see how that is not communicated clearly. So as a city, it's our job to make sure that our residents have resources, our businesses are supported, and we're doing all this in one event with none of city funds. I thought that would be a good thing.
Sure.
So you guys correct me if I'm wrong. You guys want us to get the $10,000 back? You let me know. You tell the residents that.
Okay.
Well, as the mayor of Eastpointe, and I put this together, I'm going to make a motion. I don't know too many mayors that make motions, but I'm going to make one tonight if that's possible. Attorney, and let's see where it goes. I make a motion to approve the $10,000 to the city of Eastpointe from Healthy Babies, Bright Futures to award it to the city of Eastpointe. It fails. We give the $10,000 back, Miss Nancy. Thank you for all your hard work.
Madam Mayor, if I could just add, the council bylaws does allow the mayor of the city of Eastpointe to make motions.
Okay, so it was down. Or what we can do is try to see if the organization can get the $10,000. Because I would hate to tell them that a city doesn't want to use their money to help a community. There will be an insult to them. And so I'll try to make that call tomorrow. Ms. Anter.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Thank you for your hard work. Okay, moving right along. You're welcome. Moving right along to discussion on the Boys and Girls Club visioning session at the Eastpointe Alternative School. Okay, so I put this on the agenda. So the Boys and Girls Club, you guys know, is coming to Eastpointe, and we're working on that at the alternative school right here on 9 Mile. You have to excuse my voice. I think I'm coming down with something. On June 10th and the 17th. So it's going to be a visioning session. We're going to be introducing what that looks like. So we're going to invite the public, the stakeholders, and the community, and a couple of the youth, and we're going to look into different rooms and get ideas and what you want to see. So it's a visioning session to see what you want to see the Boys and Girls Club look like. This is your city. We want to see what you want and your vision. And so again, that's going to be on June 10th and the 17th. And actually had a meeting with them tomorrow, and we're going to have the RSVP and things like that. And we're going to try to get the word out on our Facebook page and also through the news and social media, because I'd be excited to get this Boys and Girls Club. We'll be the only city in Macomb that has it for right now. I know Mount Clemens is working on one too, but I'm really excited and on this. Do council have any discussion on this?
Yeah, Madam Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Just a suggestion. The first meeting is only 9 days away. Why don't we put that on the community bulletin board and the sign on 9 Mile Road?
Okay.
Started as early as tomorrow or Thursday, and let the people know. I mean, a lot of people look at the community bulletin board, and a lot of people look at that sign when they're going down 9 Mile Road. So that might help.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Ms. Doom, I'll send you the information to put on that board. And I know council always like to make sure what we put on our Facebook page, if that's okay, we post it on our Facebook page. The June 10th and the 17th event at the alternative school. I believe it's from 5 to 8. So I'm excited about it. And also, I think I told the community about they're actually doing a basketball camp for, I believe, for a couple weeks, 3 weeks or something like that. And the Pistons are sponsoring that. So I'm excited about what they're trying to do, what they're going to do. And I know all of council and everyone watching this is going to be a part of that. So just stay tuned on that. Eastpointe is growing and we're moving positively. And so next we are going to go to that was just a discussion just to let you guys know what's going on in the community. And
Mayor, I could motion that we do that though. Motion that we advertise on social media and our website and the DDA board, like Mr. Curley said, or any other outlets, for free that the city has for the Boys and Girls Club.
Okay, sounds good.
Well,
Madam Mayor, just real quick before we can get support for the motion first. I don't care.
Okay.
What?
Well, I would support the motion. I would just ask for one thing, just to yes, definitely advertise the event as much as possible on all of our social media outlets, as long as it's been verified that the school board has approved to have the events at the alternative school. So
okay, I think the superintendent gave them that building because it's not used anymore. And so I think it was something that they talked about. I'm not
sure. I'm just saying, I just want to make sure that the school board has made their final approval first before we go ahead and advertise it. So.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Motion. I'm sorry, Councilman Curley. You want to say something?
Yeah, support.
Okay. Motion and support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Mayor Owens.
Yes. Next is payroll and bills.
Go ahead, Sarah.
Madam Mayor, I motion to pay the bills in the amount of $1,135,266.11.
Support.
Motion and support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lucido,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico.
Yes.
Next is hearing.
Madam Mayor, point of order. Help me
Yes.
out here. Was I sleeping or going to the bathroom? Did we miss the local officers' compensation determination? Did we do that?
We took it off the agenda, remember?
I think you were confusing old new business B. We
I
took
thought-
new business B off, not old business, because I know you asked about it at old business B.
Okay, well, we got 30 days to respond to it, so, okay. Thank you,
No.
Madam Mayor.
You're
Oh, no.
welcome.
Point of information though, no, we don't, the thing is we don't respond. If we don't respond, we essentially just accept their determination. We
Good.
only would want to put it on the agenda if we don't want to agree. And then like 3/5 of council or something like that needs to vote one way to not take their recommendation.
So 3/5 would be 3 people.
Yeah, or it might be 2/3 or something.
It's probably
I don't remember.
2/3 would require 4 votes, and I think that's what it would be. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good.
I knew I
Moving
was
right-
sleeping.
Moving right along to the hearing of the public. This is the second hearing of the public. You get 3 minutes to speak your issues, concerns, ideas at this moment, so we welcome you. You get 3 minutes. We ask you to be respectful for all ages and races are listening, and we want to respect them. Now, the second hearing of the public is now open. Ms. Walton.
Okay, so I just opened the chat, Mayor. Oh, let's see what hand raised. Mary Hall Rayford would like to speak first.
Hi, good evening.
Oh, Miss Rayford, I think you're on mute.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I move a navigation here. I get a little frustrated sometimes listening to these meetings where people are just rude. It's become a problem. I mean, I've talked to people from Ann Arbor and from Ypsilanti, and and they have a problem with how things are done, with seemingly very little respect for one another on the council. I'm praying, but I know God doesn't override anybody's will. So we need to correct that because it puts the city in a very poor light. And I don't know how else to say it. I've said it so many times. We cannot keep asking other people to respect the process or people unless we're willing to do it. So I don't know what to say here other than please consider the fact that these videos are open to the public and people are watching and they're paying attention. And at this moment, I don't know too many people who see Eastpointe in a very favorable light. We need to change that. And that takes all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please.
Mayor Miss Sheila Ulinsky would like to speak next.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council. I just kind of had a question on that grant for the children's garden again. How much was that?
$2,500.
I have kind of like a suggestion. I know Ms. Holman said something about perennials, and just if there was different things to spend the money on, a suggestion for perennials would be, as I work in my garden and dividing my plants out, we used to have like a perennial exchange if any residents, were dividing plants out, and that would help keep the cost down on getting perennials for the children's garden and then spend the money on something else you might want. Just an idea. That's all I had. Thank you.
Oh, wow, that was a good idea. Anyone else?
Yes, Mayor. Miss Veronica Kleinfeld would like to speak next.
Yes, ma'am. Commissioner.
Thank you, Mayor. Just with respect to GFL, what incentive would the driver have to drive around and come back again to pick up the trash. Obviously, they don't have any incentive. I agree with Councilman DeMonico that what we don't want to do is go down the road of getting a bunch of employees fired for what the company is doing. And let's just all step back and remember how this company got the contracts to begin with, and all the individuals that separated and went to jail because of their behavior, and understand the industry as a whole and ask ourselves, is it really all these individual drivers? I don't think so. I think it's the company that we have to hold responsible. And I think that I think you all know that and agree with me, and I appreciate your time. Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else?
All right, Mayor, Mr. Chef would like to speak next.
Yes, good evening. You're on mute.
All right, good evening, y'all. Y'all all right?
Yes.
First of all, I want to thank everybody on the panel for your service to Eastpointe. I want to say thank you to all of you. I want to say thank you for allowing me to get on the Arts Commission with you guys. And I can't wait. A little excited. When I got down and I put the application in, it was like dead of like COVID. Restaurant for me shut down. I'm a chef, so I wasn't too busy. Now I'm getting really, really busy. Summertime, everybody having a graduation, so I'm grilling left and right for a little bit of everybody. But the whole point, like I was telling Cardi earlier, if y'all have any suggestions for me, my name is Langston Moore, but everybody calls me Chef Lex. If you have any suggestions, you know, call my, the mayor has my number, Cardi has my number. Y'all need me, the young lady who was helping the babies, you know, who y'all gave the $10,000 for, you know, if you need anything, if you know, help with the children, let it be to cook or watch the kids. I don't care what it is. When it comes to the children, I'm really all in. And about the garbage thing, it's a monkey see, monkey do. I've been in restaurants where I work at a new restaurant and the guy says, listen, this is the way we do it here. I know the boss said do this, but this is the way we do it. Just do this. And they end up just doing that easy way. Even though the boss wants you to do it the right way, some of these guys are getting trained by the guys who train them the wrong way. So it's two things. It could be the company and being trained the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? So it can always be one or two things with the whole garbage incident. So we do have to watch who we giving our contracts to. You know what I mean? Sometimes you might just have to say you can't get the contract this year to get a better result. You know what I mean? And another thing, I like the young lady was saying, we have to stop kind of questioning what are our superiors, like in front of everybody. Like, you know, I've noticed they was asking them what you're doing with the 10,000. But if it's for children, it's so-called for children, you know, like, why would we question that? Y'all just said the bills came up to $1 million and some change, right? So if the bills are like $1 million and the mayor is helping us bring some money in that we can spend somewhere else instead of out of that $1 million that we got to pay the bills with, wouldn't that be a smart thing? But it seems like some people are just making it seem like you have ill will with some of these monies, and that's not right. That's not right. That's not right, because I see plenty of mayors and presidents do wrong with money. But that's you know. But like I said, we need to stick together, y'all. That is the end of the end game. Stick together. It took all the Avengers to get Thanos. Okay, it didn't take one Avenger. It took a gang of them to stop Thanos. So this, if you're a Marvel fan, you know what I'm talking about. So come on, man, let's stick together and let's get this done, y'all. Go Eastpointe.
Thank you.
Mayor, Miss Cindy Federley would like to speak next.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. I just want to talk about the commission appointees. I think it's short-sighted of you to think just because somebody's been on a commission for 10 plus years that they're not qualified or they can't change with the way the city's changing. People can change and they go with the way the residents want things. I don't think you should diminish their service to the city. There's many seats on each commission and we can add new people in as people leave. So I think that it's disrespectful to tell people because you've done it for many years, you can't come and help us anymore. They've been very committed to our city and we need to honor that, not have a constant change of people on these commissions. I think we need to keep consistency at some level. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, Mayor. Eddie and Marcy would like to speak next.
Yes.
Okay, so continuing on from the first comment. Again, this nuisance tenant ordinance needs to be enforced. You know, the onus is on the city. You can't just make ordinances and just leave them sitting there not doing anything. I've already had to, you know, sue this tenant for $195 in property damages. You know, the building department has a record that the garage boards were supposed to be removed and painted. None of those boards were removed. The roof again has gaping holes where animals can easily get in. I don't even know how in the world this continues to pass inspection. It's embarrassing. You know, the water department, what are you going to do about going after Great Lakes Renaissance properties to recoup thousands of dollars in regards to that water bill? There's no way from 2016 that only one unit of water has been used when you have so many people living in the house and the water bill's under $40. There are so many problems going on in this city. I've lived here, you know, I bought my house 14 years ago. Nothing's been done about the speeding. You need speed bumps. You need to put in street lights, not tell homeowners, you know, oh, just turn your porch lights on. No, these things need to be done. Our taxes keep going up every year, but yet the quality of the public services offered to us continue to go down. The police are acting like they're nothing more than glorified security guards with guns and badges, making endless excuses why they're not ticketing these nuisance tenants. This is ridiculous. I mean, you know, is this what you want? Do you want to drive out all your good homeowners? Do you want to drive out all your good tenants? Because, you know, good tenants are hard to find. They're leaving. Even landlords, the few that are responsible, they're fed up. You know, they're selling their rental properties. The gun violence continues to go up. Yesterday, between 3 and 3:30 yesterday afternoon, a block away, there's gunshots going on. And the tenant that recently moved in on the other side of me is like, I thought Eastpointe was better than that. Like, no. I mean, you guys have so many problems you need to address and get this city on track. And I don't see anybody doing their job. So again, I want a detailed response emailed back to me. What are you going to do in holding those nuisance tenants next door responsible? You've known about it. You need to take action. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, Ms. Trice would like to speak next, Mayor.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening, Council. I'm calling to say thank you to Darren. He came right out and got my trash can the next day, my extra trash can. And he was a very hard worker. Put the trash can on the truck and he took it and he found someone to give it to that needed one. And he did mention how hard of a time GFL gives him also. My next thing is these mini bikes. It's getting worse and worse by the day. There's no stop sign at my corner. There's a yield sign at the other corner. They don't stop. I almost hit one the other day. It was dark outside. They have no lights on them, no reflectors, no nothing. And you call the main number at the police department, and I literally sat on the front porch and waited, and nobody showed up for 2 hours. What kind of patrolling do we have here? You know, I'm really questioning that because somebody's going to get killed. They're going to get hit. That's important. This goes on all summer long. My next thing is the fireworks. Every night, starting at 9 o'clock until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, it's fireworks on that same corner. My dog's going nuts. My grandbaby's crying. And I'm sick. I shouldn't have to do that. I had a negative reaction to COVID. And I shouldn't have to deal with that. But if you call, nobody comes out. And I don't understand. Where are they? What are they doing? There can't be that many emergencies at one time. And right now, they're going by now. I'm surprised you don't hear them during the council meeting. I'm sitting in my computer room and you can just hear them flying up and down the street. But I hope you get some of them things addressed. Once again, thank you, Darren. You're outstanding. I'm glad you came aboard. You seem like the right person for that position. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Mayor Ann Turner would like to speak next.
Good evening, Ms. Turner.
Good evening, Mayor Owens. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for allowing me to speak in the city council as well. I'm a new resident of the city of Eastpointe. I moved in right about the time that you were running for election, and I made sure I went, I read your information, and I cast my vote for you.
Thank you.
Anyway, you're welcome. I only have one concern. At lunchtime, I work from home, and so I like to walk in Spentler Park. And there's usually people there who don't have their dog leashed. And if I ask them to leash their dog, they don't want to. And I know that's the first rule on the sign when you enter the park, that all animals must be leashed. So I'm hoping that you all can put, additional signs out at the park. Maybe that might help.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And that has been a constant. I think when I moved to Eastpointe, I did see a lot of unleashed dogs. And then I remember at a council meeting, someone asked, why do people walk in the street? I said, well, my old neighborhood, people had unleashed dogs, and we walked in the street as a way to protect ourselves. And so we shouldn't have to feel that having dogs, and I think it was an unleashed dog not too long ago, this Sunday. It was a really big dog, and my neighbor tried to stop it and tried to find the owner. And the lady, I think his daughter said that her father had dementia and let the dog loose. I mean, this dog was bigger than me. Okay. And so maybe we need to get stricter on those laws. So that's something we need to look into. So thank you for saying that. And if you see that, report it and call us and let us know, so that, if you feel unsafe, let us know. We give tickets to people for doing certain things. We got to do it all across the board. So call the police department. We have animal control as well. So please utilize those services. Okay. And thank you. Keep coming.
I will. And also I called the police, and the animal control, they responded right away. But the gentleman who I approached and said, well, can you leash your dog? He said he didn't have a leash, and he knew I was calling the police, so he left.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for doing that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. We have anyone else?
Mayor, Mr. Chef has his hand raised again. I'm not sure if he had additional time left for hearing of the public.
I don't think we had additional time. I think you used all your time. I'm sorry. I think you only get 3 minutes in the beginning and 3 minutes at the end. And I don't think people let you borrow their time. So, but thank you for being, a part of it. If you have any additional things to say, you can always email us if you have additional comments or things you want to add or want us to look into. If we have anyone else?
No, Mayor, there's nothing else in the chat and there are no hands raised.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for being part of the hearing of the public, whether it was an attack on the mayor or the council, whatever. God prepared me for this job. So some of you guys come every council meeting and attack the mayor, but you don't know what God prepared you for. It don't bother you no more. He built me for this. So moving right along, the hearing of the public is now closed. We're going to mayor and council reports, starting with Councilman Crowley.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. Just real quick, I just hope that everybody had a wonderful weekend, and particularly I would hope that you took time out, whatever you did yesterday for Memorial Day, to show your appreciation of all the soldiers, the men and women who didn't come home from all the wars that we had. And that's what Memorial Day is all about. And if you didn't, it's not too late to sit down and think about the soldiers that didn't come home through all the wars. And I think that's going to do it for tonight, Madam Mayor.
Okay, sounds good. Moving right along to Councilman DeMonico.
Thanks, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Councilman Curley, great comments on Memorial Day. Thank you. I'd say happy LGBTQ plus Pride Month starts today. And then also wanted to remind everyone of our special meeting tomorrow about the 9 Mile project, where we're reconstructing 9 Mile across the whole city in the next few years. We want all your thoughts if you didn't already give them, because we did get 638 respondents to a survey that the city put out, but it's still not too late. So come out tomorrow and give us your comments at Hearing the Public. We'll also be talking about a proposed social district, and we'll talk about that more tomorrow too, if you're not familiar with that. Wanted to comment real quickly. Yeah, in GFL, yeah, I agree with again what County Commissioner Kleinfeld said. Definitely didn't want to go the scapegoat route for them. It certainly is something we need to investigate about the whole company and how they're handling our recycling, compost, and trash. Condolences to Judge Galen. Her father just recently passed away. Thank you to everyone at the city that had visited at the wake. And then just one comment on the this Fox 2 News article about the ticket. Just want to say, just in general, I'm just very disappointed with the entire situation, really. Like, the two neighbors could have been more neighborly. I don't think the PD should have came out and ticketed so quickly. I think we could have de-escalated the situation better. And now, of course, there's been articles everywhere about it. And I just think we could have handled it better, I guess, is just generally my thoughts. Of course, the ticket is now written and it's going to have to go to court, but I hope we just consider that in the future and handle it better in the future. And that's all I had, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Lucido.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. First, I would like to respond to Ms. Buckles, I believe it was. She was asking about the construction. There is actually construction going on in the city right now. We are in the process of redoing Roxana Street. I think they're actually getting hopefully they're getting close to completing that project. So that is done. The dogs at Spindler Park, yes, I do understand that is a huge issue. I live across the street from the park. I see it all the time. The Parks Commission has approved to put new signs up. They've been designing new signs. There'll be more signs. So hopefully that does help cut down with the people not using a leash in the park, because at Spindler Park, for some reason, it definitely is a huge issue of people not keeping their dogs on leashes or cleaning up after their dogs, for that matter. I would like to give a huge thank you to the Oddfellows. They did a wonderful job yesterday offering free breakfast to all the veterans and first responders. Thank you to the police officers that were able to make it out and enjoy a free breakfast from the Oddfellows. They work really hard at putting on that event, and they just want to try to give back to the community. It's always a really great event. Hopefully next year they even have a better turnout. I would like to welcome Mr. Moore to the Arts and Cultural Diversity Commission. I met Mr. Moore a couple of times. I think he'll be an asset to the commission. Hopefully I get to taste, maybe he'll cook for us one night, because I heard he's supposed to be really good. So I'm excited about that. And also I'd like to welcome Miss Griffin, Miss Farley, Miss Russell, also, who were appointed tonight to Beautification. I would like to send my condolences to Judge Galen from her father passing. That is always really hard to lose a parent, I'm sure. So my deepest condolences to her. And just a quick note from the Arts and Cultural Diversity Commission. They would just like to say Happy Pride Month to everybody in Eastpointe. The Arts and Cultural Diversity Commission has partnered with the DDA and received support from the Parks Commission on a few projects in the city that they are excited about. and celebrating inclusiveness during Pride Month. So if you guys have a chance to drive over by Spindler Park, they're going to be putting up something there to celebrate Pride Month. They got permission from the Parks Commission, and Olive Arts and Olive Parks agreed 100% vote to move forward with this project. So it's going to be really exciting. So hopefully everyone gets out to have a chance to go out there and see it. And I think that's all I have this evening, Mayor.
Okay, sounds good. I want to send my condolences out to Judge Galen as well. I remember when she was running her election, she was taking care of her father, and I'm glad her father was able to see her make it as judge before he left this earth. So I'm sending out my condolences to her. And I also want to congratulate St. Peter's Lutheran, my daughters who go there. One made it to state, so they will be competing. Them and a whole bunch of other good kids. And my one daughter did shot put, the other did, track, and they made it to states. I didn't think they did it last time, but the whole St. Peter's, we are so happy. A lot of people don't know that St. Peter's is one of the oldest private schools here in the city of Eastpointe. And I'm excited that my daughters are a part of that. One reason I grew up in a private school all my life from kindergarten to 12th grade. And so it just made sense to put my kids in one as well. And St. Peter's is an awesome school. So if you guys are looking for a good school, they have scholarships, think about St. Peter's, if you want your child to have a good education and learn about God as well. I had got an email today from someone from White Castle CEO, and we have a White Castles right here in the city of Eastpointe, and they are trying to, they sent me some information along with another mayor, talking about that they're hiring for $15 an hour for those that are looking for a job. And they're starting off with 16 and over and things like that. So they're looking to hire over 150 people if someone is looking for a job right here. And I actually connected with them and I said, well, you've been in Eastpointe all this time. We have events here. We love to see you sponsor and support our city, because we support them. And so if anyone is looking for a job or anything like that and trying to pay their bills and things like that, it's right in the city of Eastpointe. It's right down the street if you're looking for somewhere to work. And I didn't want to really touch on the incident that happened on Channel 2 because it's still, I investigated, some of the video. And I think we just need to do better all around. I was a police officer for 11 years, so I believe in police and peace. I believe in, and I was born Black first. The job of a police officer was something that I chose to do. And I take that very seriously. And so since I've been both, I understand both sides. And so saying that we all need to do better. We all need to respect each other, no matter what race or background, and we need to respect the police, no matter what race or background they are. Just because they come at you at one color doesn't mean they're automatically racist, and vice versa. So we both need to respect each other at the same end. When a police officer put their officer suit on, some of them, I got paid $15 an hour to protect and serve. And when I went outside and put that outfit on to protect strangers, I had the chance of leaving my 2 daughters with no mother for strangers. And I think sometimes we forget the things that police officers sacrifice. And we also forget that people who are residents deserve the same respect as anybody besides their race, their gender, sexual orientation, whatever. So we need to respect each other on both sides. I'm not going to say who was right and I'm not going to say who was wrong because everybody's waiting for me to say that. What I'm saying, we need to do this together and we need to take accountability and we need to respect each other. If you're too loud, be quiet, go in your house. If you or whatever it may be. I don't know what's the best option, but we're all adults. We all need to respect one another, whether you're Black, you're white, Asian, or Chaldean. We all need to respect each other. And here in the city of Eastpointe, we do not tolerate racism or harassment. And if you are that type of person that works for the city of Eastpointe, I'm telling you now, as the mayor of Eastpointe, you need to turn in and resign today. And if you feel that way as well, and you're a resident here, you might as well sell your house because we do not tolerate racism, harassment, or bullying. And so telling you now, we don't deal with it. And if we find out, we get rid of people. And I feel like that as a city, we have a past, but in order to move to the future and be a better city, we all have to be better. And sometimes when they come to these council meetings and see council attack, or sometimes come for their mayor, or some residents come for their mayor who's doing the best job she can. And the first thing you say, no one said anything, not one resident, but one resident said something about the $10,000 grant that I got for the city and the other grant that I work hard for. And I get paid $500 a month, if that. And you get on here and you talk down on me, it's a disgrace. If you want me to do better, you send me an email and you show me how to do better. But to come on here and try to insult me, that is why our city continues to go backwards. So in order for us to do better, I challenge you to do better first. So moving forward, because I have to go home to my children and get them ready for a state championship. So we're going to go into closed session. And if you'd like to come back for adjournment, it's up to you. But the closed session is for our attorney privilege. Counsel, can I get a motion to go into closed session, please?
Sure, motion we go into attorney-client privilege communication for a legal opinion dated May 26, 2021.
Support.
Motion and support for closed session. Thank you all for attending. If you come back, I'll be happy to see you again. Can I get a motion? We got motion and support. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley. I think you're muted, Mr. Curley.
Yes.
And Mayor Owens.
Yes, thank you. Okay. We are back in open session. After we were just in closed session for attorney and client privilege. Counsel.
Madam Mayor, I motion to accept the legal counsel's recommendation.
I'm going to support that.
Motion and support, please call the roll.
Councilmember Lucido,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico.
Yes.
Can I get a motion for adjournment, please?
Point of, Madam Mayor,
Yes, sir.
if you would give me just 60 seconds. I want to be at the meeting tomorrow night. I really do to hear about the 9 Mile, but tomorrow I'm getting another the third procedure on my heart, and now they added my lungs to it. So I may not be in any shape to go anywhere tomorrow night. So just understand if I'm not on Zoom tomorrow night, it's because the procedure was not a good thing. So I'll make the motion for adjournment, Madam Mayor.
Okay.
All right, support and hope it all goes well for you, Harvey.
Thank you.
Always praying for you.
Likewise. Motion and support, please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley,
No. I mean, yes, I'm sorry.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Mayor Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned. You guys have a good night.
Have a good night, everyone.
All right.
Let's
Night,
pray for
everyone.
Councilman Curley and tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
you're welcome. Bye.
Bye.